Hi, Misha here, and you might have noticed we kind of like Swiss guns, really any interesting guns around here. And there are two 9mm pistols that are brought over from Switzerland. And since both are in hand right now, it's actually really interesting to compare them. We have the B&T, Burger and Tomat, if you will. APC9 Pro. This is the longer barrel version. Later in the video we will look at a couple of the shorter barrels. And this is the version that takes Glock magazines, Glockazines. And this is just as imported, so no brace added yet, no sights. These do come with sights. In fact, these come with quite a few accessories we will look at. And that, from a relatively big company, at least compared to our next one, we have quite a rare gun, the Wyssen Defense WD9. And this is the longer version here with about an 8 1/4 inch barrel, so slightly longer than the B&T. Now they do make about a 5-inch or maybe 6-inch barrel compact version, and none of those have been imported. In fact, JDI/San Imports has only brought over, I think, 15 of these. More are on order, but Wyssen Defense is a relatively small company with a very interesting history, and these are kind of more boutique guns. And this is definitely more of an AR style, but it is specifically made for 9mm. It's not a shortened AR receiver or anything like that. And of course, it has a standard AR extension, and as imported, they have this wonderful wrap on, but of course, they can accept various braces, pretty much any kind of AR thing. So we will see. By the way, these also feed from Glock mags, if I didn't say that. Yeah, in some ways they're very similar, in other ways very different. It just seemed like a chance to compare two very interesting guns. Also price-wise, they're about the same. Not cheap, because Swiss, floating in the low 2000s to mid 2000s, depending on which exact model you go for. So as always, let's cut over to the table to get up close and personal. SCW. Held open. Alright, features and specs of the original APC9 Pro here. This is the full-size version. It's roughly 5.5 pounds. As a pistol, it's a little over 15 inches with a 6.9 inch barrel. It has an HK style 3-lug. If we had a factory folding collapsing stock on it, it would be about 23.5 inches, give or take. This version, of course, is the Glock magwell. There's also, of course, the SIG P320 magwell version. It's this whole unit. And they still make the original style. The upper is a lightweight aluminum alloy, and the bottom is military grade polymer. The forearm, part of the receiver, does have M-lock slots, at least on the side. It looks like, I believe the bottom rail is fixed. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but seems to be. Whereas the side rails are removable. We have a non-reciprocating and folding ambidextrous charging handle. Long top rail made of metal. It does not come as a pistol with any exact provisions for an arm brace, but we do have the hinge here, and we have a cap in the back, so you have some brace options there. Pretty much all the controls are ambi, safety, mag release, and even last round hold open release up here. You do have to press these mags in a good bit. That seems to be kind of standard for these. It does come with one though. It takes, of course, standard AR-15 pistol grips and comes with this Burger and Tomat style one with a storage compartment, and it takes most, but not all, standard AR-15 trigger groups. It is a little different, but most are interchangeable. Now, this is primarily a blowback gun. However, it does have a hydraulic style buffer in the back to kind of lessen the recoil impulse when the bolt comes all the way back. So like that. So that's good. Like I said, this is the full size. And here we have the APC9K Pro, which is very similar to that SCW of mine you've seen. The frame is the same, and back here is the same. The controls are primarily the same. The only real difference, it has a shorter handguard with less M-lock space, and we have a shorter barrel. This is a 4.5-inch barrel, and it's threaded 1/2 by 28 with a cap, and it comes with this hand stop that is removable from the lower rail. Overall length is a little bit less, about 13 inches. Weight is slightly less, but it's almost not measurable, frankly, just a few ounces less. If you were to have a stock on it, with stock deployed, it'd be about 22 inches. These, of course, both have cold hammer forged chrome lined barrels. Nice quality gun, same end piece and all that. So, what about the accessories these come with from the factory? Here are the accessories that come with the full size. Currently, they are coming with these actually quite nice quasi backpack satchel things. I like them. And you get a reasonably nice cleaning kit and a zipper pouch. You get a single point sling, QD, and with an HK hook. Thankfully, you notice there's no sights, but you do get these low profile iron sights. They're actually quite nice, so says me. And you get some paperwork. Again, you get the orientation you get with me. And a little bit more in the paperwork realm here. And as you saw in the beginning, you get one Glock type mag. It does seem like it has the extended base plate, so I'm presuming it's over 30, 31, 33, but I'm not sure of that. Just one mag though. The K is slightly different. Just a minute back, I said this has a 4.5-inch barrel. I did not misspeak. Yes, I know most websites report it as 5.5 inches. That's because it comes with this adapter. This is threaded for the 1/2 by 28, and it gives you a 3-lug and adds about an inch. So it is longer, again, like you've seen on my SCW. Unfortunately, of course, that doesn't actually give really any more velocity. It's just there for the lug, so I'm not sure if I'd really count it as part of the barrel, since it's a muzzle device. But either way, these come with, the K comes with some short rails. Unlike with the full size, they don't come bolted on from the factory. You have to install them if you want them. And you get the same iron sights. Otherwise, they come with the same single point sling and cleaning kit and carry case and manual as the full size. I just wanted to point out that the accessories are slightly different. They also come with a full size mag. I actually think it'd be kind of neat if they came with a shorter mag, 17 or 20 rounds, but that's just me. WD9 first shots with the Glock mag. Held open. Specs and features for the Wyssen Defense WD9, and I only have the full size. They do actually offer a K version with a slightly shorter barrel and forearm, but none have been imported to date. This is, of course, very much AR-15 style, although it is specifically made, the upper and lower, for 9mm, so you don't have a big magwell chunk. You do have a buffer receiver extension in the back, though. Upper and lower are both metal. Even though it's a lightweight alloy, this is a little heavier than the B&T. It's about 6 pounds unloaded as you see it here. And overall length is about the same as a full size with the stock deployed. It's around 23 inches. It's slightly shorter. These do feed from Glock mags. They were designed from the outset to do so. You have a slightly longer barrel, 8.3 inches. It is 3-lug, and it is cold hammer forged chrome lined. You do have a single piece handguard with M-lock slots, and it looks like the bottom and top are removable on this one. You have ambidextrous controls with the releases here. You have a pretty standard trigger guard, slightly curved down. You have a Magpul MOE type grip. This receiver extension is actually a Magpul CTR type. It just comes with this cheek piece on from the factory for importation, but a brace will fit right on. You have a Raptor style charging handle. You do have a single point QD sling pocket in the back on the plate. No port door. There's enough of a lip here to act as a case deflector, but not a whole lot of one because it kind of bulges out. It's more of a hexagonal shaped receiver. One neat thing about this safety, it's a 60-degree throw, not a 90. A lot of people like that. Trigger is from ALG. By the way, the buffer in the back is from CSC, and it's actually adjustable. You can put different weights in it, presumably for different 9mm. So this too has a bit of a way of dampening recoil. Let's talk about its accessories. The WD9 comes in a very big case. And this is actually good because it allows you to stick it in there with any optic on top. A lot of the cases you need to pull your optic off. There's also room if you have an arm brace on. So it's big, durable, but it lets you be very flexible. It comes with 2 magazines. These are factory made Glock pattern. I believe they are WD9 branded. They have the flat base plates. I'm assuming they're just 30 rounds. You do get a mag loading tool. You also get a Swiss style cleaning kit in the little pellet bullet shaped thing. And you get a bag of extra weights for the buffer system to adjust that. And you do get a large manual. But if I'm being 100% honest, it seems a little less professionally done compared to the B&Ts. Kind of reminds me of some of the stuff that used to be in school with the binder. But you know what? They made a manual, and for small production things, they could have just said, see the internet. So that's it. Your rail sections are already attached. The only thing you can see that doesn't come with, no sling, and no iron sights. I believe the suggested sight for this from Wyssen is the aim point. So that's what they come with. And what they feature. So first comparison. Features and accessories, maybe we'll call it value. And there will be a little bit of subjectivity here. shown these to several people. I think they're both very high quality guns, but as far as manufacturing, the B&T, well, these are mass-produced guns. It's a large factory. The Wyssen still shows signs of essentially being made by a gunsmith. Very tight fitting. I love the finish on it. This is a very good anodized finish, but this is really a nice finish. Now, as far as compatibility, these both take AR grips. The B&T takes most AR trigger groups, whereas the WD9 takes all. And they both take Glock mags, but do have to give the edge there to the B&T because you can either have the original mags, the Steyr style, or the SIG, whereas this is stuck with Glock. Although, if you're going to be stuck with a 9mm mag, that's as close to universal as you're going to get. So, yeah, take that for what you will. The handguards are both M-LOK, and really about of the same length and space. Although looking at ventilation, because of the shape, this being a perfect square and this being that octagonal, there might be a little more room for the barrel to breathe. There's also the slots on the sides and stuff that this does not have. And I should point out that this one, the top and bottom rails are not removable. On the WD9, they are. Both of them have a 3-lug barrel, although this is a hair under 7 inches. This is a little over 8, so a little bit longer barrel on the WD9. The same thing goes for weight. This is about 5.5 pounds. This is about 6. So this is a little bit heavier. But then again, this is no lightweight either. This actually feels heavier when you pick it up compared with this. But that's kind of an illusion because this has the weight spread out more evenly. Whereas this, the weight's very concentrated. These Bergen mats feel very chunky, but in a good way. As far as what they come with, I'm going to have to give the edge to the B&T. Good on the WD9 for coming with a nice case and a couple of mags and a loader, but they're Glock type mags. This only comes with one mag and no loader, but you get quite a nice sling, and you get quite good sights, which is worth quite a bit right there. You get a nice cleaning kit, whereas the WD9s is a pretty basic kit. And a few other little bells and whistles. Plus I like the tactical case. These come in today. They used to come in hard cases, but now they're in the tactical. A little bit more than the hard case this comes with, but I fully admit that is personal preference. I will say finally that this has its own unique manual of arms, although it does resemble an AR or an MP5 in a few areas, whereas the WD9 resembles exactly what it is, an AR 9mm, so it will be very familiar to people right out of the box. And hey, for training and practice, that can't be discounted. SCW.
Nice.
Open. Yeah, it is really stiff on an empty mag. And now with the factory 30 round. Now we need to move into really how they feel to shoot. And for that I brought out my SCW, the APC9K Pro in the military config. Just because, yes, it has the Swiss mag lower. Could I have put the Glock mag on from one of the others? Yes. I didn't, because I didn't want to. So let's talk about braces. For the WD9, you're almost ready to go. It comes with this rubber piece over the tube. You can pull that off and put on whatever you like. I'm going to set you down for just a sec. This is very tight. Because these are very tight, as you see, when new. You can put whatever you like on, but I'm kind of a big fan of these. For the B&T, you have options. This kind of unit in the back is modular. You can put a folding and collapsing on, but this one just has the collapsing style. And one nice thing about it, it just pulls right out. And this is a tail hook style. Now, a brace like this is going to cost you under $100. This adapter, pretty much any way you put a brace on the APC9 or APC9K, it's going to cost you more because you're paying not only for the brace itself but also this back piece. Different places charge different, but several $100s. So putting a brace on is going to be a lot cheaper on the WD9. On the other hand, as I said, the APC comes with iron sights. So if that's all you want to do, you don't have to pay for sights. The WD9, you're going to need to do something. You can either just buy a sight, a red dot, right out of the box, or you can buy iron sights. But that's one expense you're going to have versus this. Now, of course, this has the little micro on top because that's how these ship, but you know, anything will work. Rail sections. One other thing I will point out that I've noticed with mine, this extension for the 3-lug sometimes twists loose. It's just kind of screwed on. So I put a little, not crush washer, but lock washer around mine to keep it from unscrewing. Your mileage may vary, and of course if you want to actually put a suppressor on it, that won't work, but I do like how it sticks out. If anything else, it's nice for safety. I took off the hand piece here for an angled foregrip that's normally on this thing. But with that, how do they shoot? Well, spoiler alert, both of them have been 100% reliable. No shock there. But of course, there's lots of other factors besides just that. And I will say, obviously I can't judge on accuracy very much, but based on what other people who've been with me have said, while the B&T is no slouch in the accuracy department, the WD9 just does really well. Part of it's the longer barrel. I think part of it's just the recoil system. You get a nice long throw. And it's just a very tightly fitted gun. But, yeah. Let's continue on with that. So back in front of the camera, because I want to try to convey how they feel. That's really hard to do in a video, but yeah. The WD9 here with our SB brace on, it has a nice balance to it. It's not the shortest in the world because, you know, AR buffers, but it does feel nicely balanced, and there's no play between these at all. Very nice, smooth, kind of a satiny finish on all of this metal. And it's very, not exactly rounded, but kind of a octagonal shape to everything. Then you look at the APC, and I just brought mine out. This is, well, it's got more polymer down here. It's a little shorter, blockier, more squared off. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It too feels very well built. No problems there. But it not quite as well balanced. It's more front heavy, but then again it is more compact. As far as actually using braces on these, since these are pistols, this is standard AR. Now this one's stiff because I just put it on, so it will loosen up, but it does fit very nice and tight, giving a reasonably good length of pull within reason. Again, it's an AR, guys. You get the idea. The B&T, that's just neat. It's a slick system, the tail hook style. I'm going to be honest, it's probably not quite as comfortable, and it probably doesn't give quite as long as a length of pull, but it's cooler. Yeah. As far as working the controls, we'll do a few here so I don't have to keep picking them up and down. Charging handle is pretty standard AR-15. It's got latches on both sides. There's a bit of a hesitation at the beginning where it's getting ready to go, but once it starts going back, it's very smooth. Safety manipulation. It's got that 45-degree throw versus a more standard 90. Pistol grip is Magpul, so you get the idea. Trigger's nice, but it's an ALG, so not the best in the world, but certainly above average. As far as the B&T, different style of charging system. It's a shorter throw, and in some ways lighter, but I've always noticed with this, I always feel like there's more to pull back. It's a very short, and it kind of has a mushy end, but what that is, that's the recoil buffer you hit up against it. So instead of kind of having a hard stop, when you've pulled it back far enough, it kind of hit that buffer. The safety is actually very similar at 45-degree throw, but it's actually a bit of a larger control. It's thinner, but it protrudes more. And your pistol grip is actually the opposite. It's a very thin grip, very kind of plain Jane. And since this trigger system is AR type, it honestly feels about the same. Let's see. Yeah, the WD9's a little harder to charge, but not bad. Both have smooth, nice triggers, but I'm gonna say the B&T's is a little bit lighter, but maybe the brake's a little bit better on the WD9. Even though the way it has a mushy end to the pull, I do like the charging system a little more on the B&T. And of course, to get our stock back in, just press in here, collapses in. And quite similarly is on any AR. Again, this one's still stiff. There you go. So, side by side, this one actually feels lighter but longer. This one feels a little blockier and heavier, but shorter. And I know that's more of an illusion than reality there, but you know, I'm just trying to give you some subjective things. They both feel like nice, high quality guns, but if I'm being 100% honest, the B&T feels like a very nice factory built gun, whereas the WD9 honestly feels like a gunsmith built gun.
One thing to note about this Wyssen Defense WD9 is those mags really have to be smacked in. And I'm using wolf ammo with a PMag. Since there's a Magpul grip on it, I figured that was suitable. We'll see if it runs okay. Clear.
Speaking to magazines, again with the WD9 you're using Glock mags. With the APCs you can use 3 different types. These were the original. They were inherited from the Steyr TMP. And they're nice mags when it comes to, they're clear, you can see through them, they're pretty easy to load, and they're very lightweight. And they make them in lots of capacities, 15, 20, 30 rounds. Unfortunately, some have reported cracking of the base plates with these. It's a translucent polymer. It's never as sturdy as a opaque polymer. So that's why you'll see some that have that bumper on the bottom. So you might want to go with the Glock mag for a B&T. Or if you have a SIG 320, you might want that lower. Those mags seem quite nice, and they're at least 21 rounds. But most people shooting a 9mm probably going to use a Glock mag because most everyone does own a Glock. Just wanted to point that out. Ready?
And we are rolling.
Alrighty, let's try the full 30 round mag in the SCW. Definitely stop shooting. Well, back where we started. What do you think? Do you like the BNT? And if so, which of the 4 versions we've looked at do you prefer? Full size, Glock mag or BNT mag, or the K model? Again, BNT mag or Glock mag. You've got options here. And I really do like that these come with several accessories. And BNT is really starting to make a name for themselves. But it is polymer lower gun, and while it's very well built, it does kind of have that blocky utilitarian look going on. Not all that dissimilar to, say, a Scorpion or an Uzi. Certainly more elegant, but it does have a very worksman-like appearance. Or do you like the WD9? Right now we only have this one version, and it definitely does not come with as many accessories, although it does come with a kind of neat case. And this isn't something that you're going to see hundreds or thousands ever imported. This is a boutique gun, handcrafted. And there are pros and cons to that whole thing. Of course, on the other hand, since it is so common with AR stuff, it would be easy to pick up and teach yourself to use. And presumably replacement parts would be a little easier to find. Don't know. What do you think? Me, myself, and I'd have a hard time picking. I do like that the BNT, at least versions of this, have military police pedigree. And I like that they're a unique operating system and that the lower is modular. But the collector part of me likes having something really rare that there's only a handful in the country, and I don't see that ever changing with the WD9. And I do like the balance of it. It's a very light gun, at least the way it feels in your hands. And I do think the brace is a little more comfy when it's on this one than on the BNT over here. Don't know, but since both of these were available, seemed like a fun comparison. We have covered both videos in the past, so if you want, check those out. We kind of like 9mm PCCs around here. So we'd love to have a conversation in the comments below. As always, if you could, please do like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to help support the channel, check out a link to the Patreon page. This is Misha. Catch you very soon, next time.